Hi, everybody. Welcome to tonight's Sidelines Unite team call. This is just, such an exciting night. I'm Tammy Ray, Regional Vice President and Independent Consultant with Arbonne, and just bursting. I know many of you have set your alarms to make sure you wouldn't miss this call, and I'm just so grateful to see every single person here. I know you are all going to be blessed. We have a very special guest speaker, Jerry Roisentul, with us tonight. And just so honored to have him with us. And I just wanted to give a few messages to Jerry to introduce him, and just how, I mean, these are just a handful of messages, Jerry, you know, of the hundreds of people that you touched, you know, from coming to the summit in Michigan and all over the United States. We have people from all different states on tonight with us because this is a sideline call. So anyway, I'm going to read a few people who sent me messages about you, Jerry. So Kathy said, Jerry is real, and he was so happy to be there with us at the summit, not like he was at a job. It was as if he was living his life on purpose. Katie said that Jerry talked about how this business is won or lost in our mind every single day. And that fits so well with the daily tools he teaches us to use, like the gold card, to make sure that our top priority in our business every day is setting our mind right. Maxine said, out of my almost 17 years of being in Arbonne, Jerry is absolutely one of the most impactful speakers I have ever heard. He is down to earth and insightful. Suzanne said, Jerry reminded me that courage is not the absence of fear, it's acting in spite of it. I really heard that. It really hit home coming from Jerry. Melinda said, I truly love how Jerry made our mission very clear, that there's an injustice in our country, that companies are adding harmful ingredients because they value profits over people. And I love the gold card, both game changers. And for me, Jerry, I've been around Arbonne for a decade. I've heard so many speakers, you know, come in, and they were all fantastic. But when you spoke, there's just something so real about you, and it really just hits. It really sticks. I walked out of there with clarity, with tools, with confidence, with verbiage, ready to implement that very day. I mean, you truly gave us a sponsoring mindset and gave us the confidence to live on purpose and to share this beautiful mission that we have in Arbonne. So thank you for the gift of you and your life being lived out on purpose. And we're just so honored to have you with us tonight. So thank you. I know we're all gonna love it.
Wow, I don't even. We can just drop the mic and go home. I mean, I don't know what to say to that. I've never had an introduction of that nature. You know, the greatest thing about what I get to do is I get to truly be a vessel that God uses to impact people's lives. And, you know, there's no amount of money that can make up for the feeling you get hearing those kind of messages, because when you do summits, you really never know who's going to be impacted by what will they be impacted. You just don't know. You just go and you just do what you're supposed to do. You do what you're called to do, and you just let the cards fall where they may afterwards. And so I just want to tell you, Tammy, first of all, thank you for sharing those with me. It fills my spirit. I spend so much of my time pouring myself out into the lives of other people. Stuff like that is what fills me back up again. So thank you for sharing that. And secondly, thank you for putting this call together and for the friendship that we developed. I didn't know Tammy Ray from Bobby Ray when I came to Michigan, but we just connected while we were there, and she reached out to me. And you know, that's the first key of success. It's not part of my message tonight, but it's something you can learn from, is be bold. You know, be bold. Business and winning goes to those who are bold. And Tammy was bold, and she reached out to me and said, hey, I know you're busy. I know that you're like in demand all over the world, but would you be willing to do a call for our team? And just because of her boldness and our friendship, and that smile. I mean, how can you say no to that? So I said, absolutely. And here we are tonight. So thank you for orchestrating this, Tammy. And And to all of you out there tonight, all over the country, welcome to this call. I am fired up. I have been waiting for this call all week long. I've prayed about it. I've written down what I think is going to impact you. And, you know, every time I do this call, that is one of the most important things for me personally, is that you will leave this call better off than when you got on. This is not a motivational call. This is not a fluffed up call, because let me be honest with you, okay, it's 5:30 where I am at. If you're in Central Time Zone, it's 7:30. If you're in Eastern Time Zone, it's 8:30. If you're somewhere else around the country, who knows what time it is. So if you're on this call now in your respective time zones, you're motivated. So I don't need to motivate you, but I want to share some things with you that I hope are going to really help you stretch your vision, stretch your belief, and stretch yourself. So the title of this call is The Roadmap to Success, because we're all here to be successful. And our goal is we need to create a roadmap on how to get there. Now, I'm going to throw myself under the bus and just tell you that most men, didn't say all of them, most men are terrible at asking for directions. We would rather get lost 100 times over than pull over and ask someone for directions. I remember one day I was taking a trip with Gina and I couldn't figure out where I was going, although I realized I went off the wrong road. And I'm just trying to play it off like, oh no, this is part of the journey and this, and I knew we were lost. But I wouldn't pull over and ask for directions because I didn't want to admit that I got lost. And Gina said something to me. She said, you know, if we would have had a map before we left, it would have been much easier to get to where we were going. And I said, yeah, I know, but, you know, I am the map, and look how good that worked out. And so it made me remember that success is all about having a roadmap. It's about knowing exactly the things that need to be done to get you to the next level. Because here's the thing, when you come into a business like this, network marketing, most of us come into the business, and let's be real, okay, we don't have any experience in this. We don't have any experience in network marketing and sales and sponsoring people. So all of this stuff is all new to us. And when we come in, we have a mindset that's all jacked up. It's all full of doubts and full of fears and full of all these bad habits that we've created in our past, and we bring them here and we're thinking to ourselves, man, what did I get myself into? Am I going to be able to do this? Is this going to work? I don't know what's going on. Maybe I should quit. All of these things go on in our minds when we come into a business like this. But here's the thing. See, your systems, you need two things to be successful in this business. You need a roadmap and you need a system. Now, I do not train on systems. Why? Because your systems are trained to you by your VPs. And you should be following and utilizing the systems they've given you, because they've already made the mistakes. They've paved the way for you. They've already figured out what doesn't work and how it doesn't happen. They already know all that stuff. And it's in their best interest to make sure you have things to succeed, because a VP's success is directly related to the success of the people on their team. So it's not in Tammy's best interest to have somebody come on and say, let's mess them up and give them this system. Let's see what they do with this thing. Right? It's not in her best interest. But your VPs have already developed the system. They laid out the groundwork. I say this all the time. Don't reinvent the wheel. Roll the wheel you've been given. So you need a system of how to do the business. Your VPs provide that to you. But you also need a roadmap. And the roadmap is how to make that system really work effectively. And tonight what I want to do is I want to give you that roadmap, that direction of the things that I believe you need to work on to make that system that you've been given work even better than it is right now. And so we're going to talk about a roadmap for success, and we're going to talk about MAPS, an acronym, M-A-P-S. And we're going to talk about what the map is that you need to build to become successful in your life. So get your pens ready. Get your paper ready, strap on your seatbelt, tie your hair in a bun, because for the next 25 minutes, this is going to be a wild and crazy ride. So here we go. The M in MAPS stands for mindset. Surprise! I know I've never talked about that. You never heard me say anything about that. I'm all about mindset. I'm a mindset development coach. The most important thing in your roadmap to success is your mindset. Everything in this business, my friends, are won or lost in your mind, period, end of story. And when we come in here, we see VP. This is VP up here. This is what we see. For most of us, here's our mindset. And our mindset wants to believe this, but we haven't developed it yet to make this happen. And so what we've got to do is we've got to slowly build, slowly grow, slowly create the mindset for success. When I was building my business, I went into my upline one day, and I said to him, listen, I want to ask you a question. How am I supposed to make $100,000 a year in income in this business? So I was thinking about how to make 100 grand. And his answer to me was so profound, but it really changed my life. And he said, Jerry, he says, can I be honest with you? I said, sure. He says, do you want me to tell you why you're not making $100,000 a year yet? Yeah, I'm working hard. I'm doing all the right things. What is going on here? This is what he said to me. He said, you haven't become the person you need to become for you to make $100,000 a year. He said, so instead of focusing on making the money, focus on becoming the person you need to become to make that money, and then the money will just follow right behind it. My friends, that conversation changed the course of my life, because that is when I dived in to this thing you hear us all talk about. You hear your leaders talk about it. You hear everyone talk about it, but very rarely do we do it. And that is the power of self-development. Self-development is everything. Our mind is not where it needs to be to get us where we want to go when we first start this business. And we can have all the right tools and the right systems and the right scripts and the right presentations, but if your mind is not in the right place, all of that stuff isn't going to matter. Your mindset needs to grow. Success happens from the inside out. And so I started a self-development program. I went to work on growing myself. John Maxwell's great book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. In the very first chapter, he talks about the law of the lid, and that we will never rise above the lid that we've set for ourselves. So how do you grow your lid? You develop yourself. You develop your mindset, and you grow the most important asset that you have in this business. Well, Jerry, how do you do that? Well, first of all, your goal card. Most of you know about the goal card now. You've been to the summit. You understand the power of the goal card. If you don't know what I'm talking about, talk to your upline VP after the call. They'll explain it to you. But the goal card is what helps to start slowly reprogramming the inner workings of your mind. It starts to shift the doubts. It starts to shift the fears. It starts to shift the lack of confidence and starts bringing your mind into a place where you have belief and you have confidence and you know things can get done, and you start attracting the right people, resources, and opportunities that will help you achieve your goal. You got to be reading your goal card every day. It's a no exception part of what I teach when I do my coaching. Secondly, you got to be reading something every single day. What are you reading? Leaders are readers. And don't go making excuses. Well, you know, Jerry, when I read, I fall asleep. Well, that's wonderful. You know, get an audio book. Well, you know, I don't have a CD player. Well, then have someone read to you. Pay somebody to read to you. There's no excuses. Leaders are readers. You should be reading a book a month. If I went around the phone right now and said, what are you reading? Would you have something? Many of you do. Some of you don't. But you need to be reading something every month to be able to grow your mindset. Third thing, you need to listen to things that are going to help you grow. I know we love country music and we love Christian music and all that stuff, but those people are already making lots of money. We don't make money listening to that. We make money listening to things that are going to help our mind grow. So listen to SoundClouds. You know, subscribe to Donna Johnson's SoundCloud. She's got, I mean, galore, stuff galore. All your VPs that are on SoundCloud, listen to those things. There's so many things out there that are going to help you grow your mind. Those are the things that we need to be doing. But let me tell you something. And let me tell you, if you haven't already figured it out, man, I have all this energy and passion just oozing out of me, and I'm just going to be bold, direct. I'm going to tell it like it is. But let me tell you something. I'm going to be honest, truthful with every one of you. If you do not work constantly and continuously on growing your mindset, you will not make it long-term in a business like this. Oh, Jerry, but that's negative. No, my dear friends, that's reality, okay? Your mind and your mouth will direct the course of your business. Come on, somebody. Your mind and your mouth directs the course of your business. What you think will become what you speak, and what you speak will determine your destiny. And I don't care how motivated and passionate you are, with a jacked up mindset, you're going nowhere. There is nothing more important than your mindset. And yes, my friends, I'm preaching. I came out of church today. I did a great offering message. Man, I just feel it coming out of me. So I'm just going to preach around. We're not even going to do an offering. We're just going to let this rip. But I'm passionate about this, because I know that this is the missing link. This is the missing link to why we're not growing. It's our mindset. Let me tell you something else. Listen, every one of us is going to have problems in this business. Every one of us is going to have things happen. People are going to quit. Parties are going to cancel. People aren't going to show up. People aren't going to buy. We all go through that. But let me make this very clear to you, my friends. What happens to you isn't what creates your problems. How you choose to respond to what happens is what creates your problems. And the greatest gift that God has given us, one of the greatest gifts he's given us, is the ability to make choices. See, happiness is a choice. So is being miserable. Being depressed is a choice. So is being excited. How do you respond when your top person on your team quits? See, your top person quitting is not what creates all your issues. It's how you respond to that. See, one person has their top person quit, and they get all bent out of shape. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. My best person quit. Oh, I put so much time and energy into them. Oh, they were the one. I thought they were going to do it. They were going to make it. I didn't believe they quit. I don't even know what to do. Oh, where am I going to find somebody else? I'm not a good leader. There's something wrong with me. And then they go into this hibernation mode. They don't sponsor anyone for 3 months. And then you have somebody else who has their top person quit, and they just go, wow, you know what? That is really depressing and discouraging. I mean, that is really sad. I can't believe that I spent all that time into this person and they quit. But you know what? I am not going to allow somebody who is willing to give up and walk away from their dreams make me give up and walk away from mine. And if I found her once, I can go find her again. So although I'm upset she's not here, I'm going to pick up the pieces. I'm going to go out and I'm going to go find me 3 more like her. And I'm going to go make this thing happen. See, that's the mindset of a champion. Same circumstance, different response. How do you respond to things? That's where the problem lies. It's not that, see, when somebody doesn't show up to your meeting, how do you respond? You get upset? Do you go postal? Or do you just go, you know what? Well, hope they're okay. Maybe something happened. I'll follow up with them tomorrow, but I'm here. I'm going to be energized. I'm going to be fired up. When you give out an RE9 set and somebody steals it and doesn't give it back, how do you respond to that? Do you go, oh my gosh, I can't believe we got a thief, I'm going to call the cops? Or do you just go, you know what? If that's the character of a person, then I don't need that character on my team. God bless them. I'm moving on, and we go on to the next one. Come on, somebody. Somebody needs to hear this right now, because your mindset is the anchor that's holding you back from winning. You're like a ship in the night, and you're going out to become VP, and you go and you're stuck, and you keep, what is wrong? What is holding me back? And it's the anchor of your mindset that's holding you back. It's all the doubt. It's all the negative self-talk. It's all the crap that you're thinking about. It's holding you back like an anchor on a ship. And the only way the ship is free is you got to get rid of the anchor. You got to get rid of that mindset. You got to get rid of that negativity. You got to grow your mindset. mindset. It's the most important thing you can do. There is nothing more important in this business that you can do than grow your mindset, because your mind will either help you win or it will take you out of the game. And let me tell you something, most of you that know me know, some of you might be hearing me for the first time and go, oh my God, this guy is screaming. What is up? Hey, listen, that ain't yelling, baby. That's yelling with love. There's a whole different ball game. This is passion. You know what? If you sounded half the way I sound about your business, you'd be sponsoring everyone. We're so caught up in, oh, what am I going to say? I don't know what to say. What am I going to say? Oh, I don't even know what to say. And if you were just passionate, you'd be sponsoring more people. We're going to talk about that later. We're talking about mindset. I'm getting ahead of myself. So mindset. But let me give you a message that every one of you needs to hear. Every one of you on this call, you all have worth. You all have value. No matter where you are, no matter what struggles you're going through, no matter how long you've been going through the struggles, you all have worth, you all have value, and every one of you has the potential and the greatness inside of you for winning. God does not create junk. You were fearfully and wonderfully made by your Creator, and He didn't create you with a garbage mentality in mind. The world that we live in creates all the garbage that we have. But you, my friends, were created for greatness. Don't ever let your circumstances or what's going on take your worth away, take your value away, because we are all valuable and we all have worth, no matter what we are going through. So the first part of this roadmap to success is working on your mindset. And I hope I drove the importance of that home so you know why we need to be doing that all the time. Let's move on to the A. The A in mindset is activity. Now listen, I know we want to get our entire teams to do everything. We're just trying, Jerry, how do I get my team to do this? How do I get them moving? How do I get Betty going? How do I get Bob going? Well, what's going on? How do I get this team? Listen, you cannot get people to do what they're not willing to do, no matter how bad you want them to do it. And the moment you start depending on or relying on other people to do things for you, you will become sadly disappointed. The only thing you can control in this business is your own personal activity, period, end of story. You cannot control the activity of the people on your team as much as you try it, as much as you want. You can't do that. Only your personal activity. So when I coach people and they're talking about their teams, well, Jerry, you know, Betty this and Bob that and Fran did this and Maxine this and Tammy that, I just let them go. And then I said, okay, I have one question to ask you. What does your calendar look like? Did you hear that silence? That's exactly what I hear on the other end of the phone 90% of the time. And I said, did you hear me? Did you fall? No, I'm here. What does your calendar look like? Because the only thing you can control is you. So how many one-on-ones do you have? How many launches do you have? How many new people have you sponsored? How many people do you have coming to your events? Because at the end of the day, this is an activity-driven business. You know the problem? We get too emotionally connected to the outcome. And the outcome tears us up. What's wrong with me? I'm such a good person. I can't get anyone to follow me. I can't get anyone to join my team. I don't know what's wrong with me. What's wrong? That's what we do. We get caught up in the outcome of what happens, and we stop doing the activity that's going to get us greater results. We get caught up in what people do and don't do. We start beating ourselves up. What's wrong with me? Why is this happening? Listen, you can only control your daily activity. So if I were to ask you this question, what daily activity goal do you have set for yourself every day? Most of you would probably look at me with the deer in the headlights look. What's he talking about? Do you have a daily activity? I don't even know what you're talking about. That's the problem. Every one of you on this call should have a daily activity goal, a personal one. What is a daily activity goal? It is a goal that you have every day, geared around activity-driven stuff that's going to set you up to be in front of people to share the business with them. And that activity can be many different things. You can have an activity goal today. I'm going to go out and talk to 3 people about sitting down and do the business. Your activity goal could be today, I'm going to go do 3 drop-offs. Today, I'm going to invite 3 people to come to my meeting. You have to have a goal that's activity-driven because activity drives results. We always want more results, but we're not willing to do the activity. We want to get everybody else to do the activity, but that doesn't always work. At the end of the day, we've got to have a daily activity goal. What are you doing every day? Activity-driven to move your business forward. And the more you actually do that every day, the more you're going to get people on your team to see it, and the more you're going to get people on your team to follow it. See, our consultants remind me of kids. They don't do what we tell them. They do what we show them. So show them exactly what needs to be done so that they can go out and win. And at the end of the day, you're going to start growing your business. But the second part of the personal roadmap to success is making sure that you are getting your personal activity going on a daily basis. The P in MAPS stands for 2 things: purpose and passion. Man, those are so important. So many times that we come into this business, we just don't have those things, or we fail to develop them. And see, what we have to do to really be successful is we have to develop our purpose and we have to fuel our passion. See, our purpose and our why are 2 different things. See, our why is the reasons that we're doing the business. You know, well, what are the reasons that we are doing this business? That's our why. You know, retire our spouse, send our kids to school, our private school, you know, take trips. That's our why. But our purpose is, okay, our purpose is how what we're doing is making an impact in other people's lives. And see, your purpose is going to be what fuels your passion. I want you to understand that. Your purpose is going to fuel your passion. See, and sometimes we come into business and we just look at what we do as just selling products. You know, we've got these great products. We've got this great, skincare line. We've got this great PhytoSport line. We've got the Essentials line, the 30-Day Healthy Living. And sometimes we just look at what we do as we're just going out there and selling products. And at times, that doesn't excite you all the time. Doesn't light your fire all the time. But see, your purpose is greater than what you sell. It's how it's making an impact. And as I say at my summits, you know, I believe the purpose of what you're doing is you are helping to improve the health, the wealth, and the well-being of the world we live in. One person, one family, in one country at a time. See, that is a purpose that will fuel your passion to go out and do things. See, it's a purpose that drives you. It's a purpose that moves you and excites you, gets you up every day. It gets you up when all the negative things happen. You know, when people quit and parties cancel and all the things that happen. It's your purpose that will get you up and move you forward, and it fuels your passion to go out and win. And let me tell you something. I've been around network marketing for 23 years. I've been in the profession of sales for 33 years, since I was 15 years old. And I can tell you the number 1 character trait of almost every single successful person I've ever met is passion. They just have a passion in their heart to change people's lives, to impact their family, to make a difference. There is just this innate passion of wanting to go out and do great things. And we need to create that passion within us. See, don't chase a paycheck, because when we chase a paycheck, we become very discouraged at times. But when you have a purpose and you chase your purpose, that purpose ignites your passion. That passion explodes your impact. And the greater your impact, the greater your paycheck. See, you've got to have a passion about what you do. You can't allow all of the things that happen to take your passion away, because once again, that is a choice. You know, every day I wake up and I am just grateful that God has given me the opportunity and the platform to use the gifts he's given me to speak into the lives of other people. You can tell I'm passionate about what I do. I believe in what I do. I know it makes a difference. And sometimes we get caught up in knowing. We just need to get the passion inside of us. Let me tell you something. When you're out there talking to people, sponsoring people, doing presentations, people join you. Then they represent your company. People join you. And then they represent Arbonne. See, they join your passion, your belief, your vision. That's what they buy. When I was building my business and I was broke, living in a 300 square foot guest house with no money, talking to people about how to manage their personal finances when I was broke. The only thing to help me build a business was my tenacity, my desire to never give up, and my passion for what I was doing. Because I was focusing on where I was going. I wasn't focusing on where I was stuck. And if we're going to really create something of impact, if we're going to create something substantial, we've got to develop our purpose and fuel our passion. And those two things together create an unbelievable force that will attract people to you and what you're doing. So that's the P, purpose and passion. And then the S is developing your skill sets. Most of the people come into this business have no experience in network marketing. And there's a learning curve that you have to go through. You have to give yourself a little bit of time to learn what it is that you're going to be doing. But I hear people tell me this all the time. They say, Jerry, you know, when I understand everything, I'll go out and do something. And I hate to tell you, you got that all backwards. See, you just go out and do something, and everything you need to know will start falling into place as you start doing. See, the people that sit around and think they have to know everything never really do much of anything. Because if you're waiting to know everything, you're going to be waiting for a long time, because there's going to be new trainings, there's going to be new products, new things that are going to be coming out. It's like the parent who says, I'll wait till my life is perfect until I have a baby. And then all of a sudden, poof, out one pops. You're going, oh my gosh, what do I do? And you may not be ready, but you know enough, and you fill in the gaps as you go through the process. It's the same thing with business. We have to understand that, yes, you need skill sets. You need to know the basics of the business. There's five fundamentals that we learn in this business. Number one is we learn prospecting and how to meet people, connect with people. Number two, we learn how to set appointments in different areas. Number three, we learn how to do presentations. We learn how to present one-on-ones. We learn how to present groups. Number four is we learn how to close. We learn how to close people for product sales, to join our business, to host events. And then number five is we learn how to sponsor and how to create a team of people. Those are the five fundamentals of network marketing. Okay? Once again, let me give it to you one more time. It is prospecting, setting appointments, presenting, closing, sponsoring. Those are the fundamentals. But if you wait till you know how to do everything in those areas to go build a business, you're going to be waiting forever. What you need to do is you need to take what you need to know and go out and apply what you need to know and realize that this is a learn-as-you-go business. There are plenty of resources available for you. I love when people tell me they have to learn all the products before they go talk about them. Well, listen, first of all, I think you need to be using the products before you go talk about them. That's the greatest testimony you can give. But the company gives you a meet the product fact sheet that has all this information on every product that they have. All you need to basically do is print out the ones you need, put them in a folder, take the folder with you. Somebody asks you a question about a product you don't really know, Don't worry about it. Flip out your product sheet. Show them all the answers. Show them what there is. And if that doesn't do it for them, then all you have to tell them is, you know what? I don't have the answer to your question, but I know exactly where I can find it. If you give me 24 hours, I'll make a call. I'll call you tomorrow. I'll give you the answer. And you know what? People are so shocked and so amazed. Shocked and amazed. Where'd I go? There I am. They're actually shocked and amazed when you call them because they never thought that you would. So I just want to encourage all of you to understand that, yes, you need skill sets. Yes, you need to develop your skill sets. But no, you don't need to sit around and wait till you know everything until you go out and do something. You have enough that you know to go do what you need to do. And the rest of it will fall into place because that's where you learn. This is like a college education backwards. College education backwards. Okay, we go to college usually for 4 years. We don't do much. We learn, we study, we get a degree, and then we hope to go out and find a job in the degree that in the profession we got our degree in. At the end of the day, here's the bottom line. In this business, you spend 4 years going out there learning and growing and developing and applying, and 4 years later, you get your degree, whether it's an RVP or an NVP. It's kind of a college reverse, college education backwards. And you know, I've been in this profession of network marketing for 3 years. I built my entire business with one company for 18 of those 23 years. Nothing that I'm talking to you about today is theoretical ideas. Everything I'm talking to you about are the exact things that I did to create a very successful business. And it's the things that I teach people in my coaching program that is helping them grow their businesses. Because in order to have that roadmap, you've got to do 4 things. You've got to, number 1, develop your mindset, which is the M. 2 is you've got to build your activity level. 3 is you've got to develop your purpose, fuel your passion. And number 4 is you've got to strengthen your skill set and go out there and apply what you know and fill in the gaps as you go along. That, my friends, MAPS is the roadmap of what it takes to success. You do those 4 things effectively well, and you take that with the system that your upline leaders have given you, and you marry them together. Let me tell you something, my friends. Success will just take you to places you can't even imagine. Because I've seen it happen to consultants all over the country, that once that mindset element gets into play, everything else falls into place. And so my hope and my prayer tonight is that this call spoke to somebody. I hope it spoke to masses of you. I hope that for some of you it was a reminder of things that you already know. For others of you it was exactly what you needed to hear. Because I know that if you take this and apply this, teach your teams this, I know that this will make not only a profound impact in your business, but it can make a profound impact in your life. And I cannot wait to hear some of the testimonies from all of you that will go out and strengthen these areas and start building your way to the top. So with that said, I want to thank all of you for tuning in on a Sunday night. You guys are amazing. It is an honor and a privilege for me to be here. And I just want to turn it back over to Tammy and for some final thoughts and some closing words. So Tammy, take it away, my friend.
Oh my goodness, Jerry. Thank you so much. Who here thinks Jerry is just like the heart again? It's like we're having Rita Davenport back again to just, you know, speak on the culture of Arbonne, of serving with our whole heart and with our purpose and with love and just sharing our mission and getting really clear on that. I just appreciate you so much, Jerry. You really breathe life into us as a company. And, you know, in the words of Peter Mork, our beloved founder, he said, "One life lived on purpose, millions of lives changed." And I see you, Jerry, just living on purpose and stepping into your mission for your life. And because you decided to to accept the call to really, you know, live on purpose with your life, you are going to change millions of lives. I know this call will have a ripple effect for so many. And you guys, we're living in a world right now that needs hope. We're in a time and space in this world where it's a tough place to be some days. And we have something here. We have this beautiful gift to share, and we need your voice to be heard. We need your unique story to be heard. We need your light to shine so that others can find their way out of the dark. And I just appreciate every single one of you on this call. And I don't know if you have time to take a couple questions, Jerry. But
I do.
Okay. Well, we can, if you have a question or a comment for Jerry, just go ahead and unmute yourself, and we'll just keep the conversation going for a few more minutes. Thank you, Jerry. Just love you and appreciate you.
Love you too.
Who has a question? I know somebody does.
Or a comment. And don't worry, my yelling with love is over. Now I'm nice. I'm like a little kitten now. I'm just a little kitten now, so I'm all good now.
They're there.
Hey, Katie.
Hi, everybody. Jerry, that was awesome. But I really want to thank you for the distinction you made between our why and our purpose, because I think sometimes we talk about sharing your why. And while that is important, if people can't see themselves in our story and why they would want to join us, then I don't think it's as compelling to just hear our personal reasons. So that really clicked for me, and I'm excited to share that with our team and other people. So I think that was an awesome distinction. Thank you.
Okay, that's a great distinction for you to take from that call, because too many times that's what we do is, we share our why, and it's important, especially if you've overcome things. But when you're sharing your why, people are sitting there thinking, well, that's great, but how does this impact me? I mean, that's you. Congratulations. Yeah. And so when you share your purpose, that's what impacts people. And so I'm glad you got that distinction out of this call.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Katie. Thanks for sharing, sweetie. See, I'm nice now.
Oh, I love that.
Hey, Jerry, it's Maxine.
Maxine, hold on. This is an internet hug. I'm giving you a big hug.
Back at ya.
Hello, my friend.
How are you?
I'm great. How you doing?
Good. Hey, one of the things that I loved when we listened to in our training that we had with you was that you talked about really the difference between being able to, let's see, how do I want to put this? Like a system that you can't duplicate yourself. You can only duplicate a system. Can you share a little bit of the thought on that? Because I thought that was really profound, and really the first aha that I had about that, we always talk about duplicating ourselves, but you can't duplicate yourself. Can you share what you shared on that, please?
You know what, Maxine? I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't even remember what I shared on that.
You talked about that you cannot duplicate yourself, that you really can only duplicate a system. And
right.
We always talk about trying to duplicate ourselves, but you talked about how no one will ever be you. And so don't try to duplicate you.
Yes. Yeah, that's the thing. See, you just clicked my mind.
Okay.
See, people look at me, okay, when I was building my business, and they'd say, I could never be like you. And so their thought process was, because they couldn't yell with love like me, they couldn't win. Okay, listen, you're not supposed to be somebody else. You're supposed to be the best version of you can be. And the great thing is that everybody can win in this business. People look and say, oh, well, if I don't have Jerry's personality, I can't win. Listen, I know people that are MVPs that are the most quiet, timid MVPs you would ever meet. They talk just, they're really soft-spoken and everything, and yet they built a great business. Because when you try to duplicate you can't do that, because then you're trying to get others to fit into your own mold. Mm-hmm. See, what I see as the system are the 5 things I shared with you. That's the system. That's what we do. Your reach-out method is what's different within that system. Every leader has a different reach-out method that they use in that system. But what you're duplicating is the idea of coming in and learning those 5 things. Learning how to prospect, how to set appointments, how to present, how to close, how to sponsor. That's the essence of it. So what you have to do is just be you and let others be who they are, And here's another thing I didn't say that just clicked to me. For those perfectionists out there, I got to say this, okay? The more perfect you are, the harder a business it will take you to build. You will never build a business for that. But the more perfect you try to be, the harder it's going to be for you to build a business. You know why? Because nobody can duplicate perfection. And there's too many people out there trying to be perfect. The more perfect you try to be, the harder it's going to be to build a business, because people look at that and they can't duplicate that. You know, it's okay to make a mistake once in a while. You learn from mistakes. It's okay to not have everything exactly the way it's supposed to be. It's okay. I know it's tough, but in this business, it's okay for people to see you be vulnerable. It's okay for people to see you make a mistake. You laugh about it, you learn from it, you grow from it, but people cannot duplicate perfection. So stop trying to be so perfect and just go out there and do what you can with what you have. And realize that when people say, well, I'm not like you. And you will say, well, thank goodness for that, because two of us in the same business, that wouldn't be fun at all. You know, and I just say something to make them laugh. And then I'd encourage them, listen, your personality is your personality. This, you know, you take who you are, and we're going to show you with the system and the tools we have how to create a business being unique to yourself. Because the moment you try to be someone you're not, then you're really screwing up big time, because that's not what it's all about. I always say this, don't change yourself to please other people that will probably never be around long enough to appreciate the change. Don't ever change yourself. Don't ever change who you are. Listen, I am who God made me to be. So I am. Yes, I yell with love. Yes, there are people that don't like it. I'm not going to start having calls and going, hi, everyone. Thank you for being on my call tonight. You know what I tell the people that don't like the way I teach? I'm really sorry, but you don't need to get on the calls. It's your choice. I'm not forcing you on the calls. Don't get on the calls, because I'm not going to change who God made me to be. I can't please everybody. None of you can please everybody. So stop trying. And just be the you that God created you to be, and that is good enough. And you go out there and let people be who they are. And when you do that, you can start duplicating a system, not a personality. So I hope that helped, Bexy.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Right on.
You're welcome, my dear. All right, we're having some fun, so I'll stick around if people have some more thoughts, comments, questions, whatever. I'm here. What's up, Tammy?
Go ahead, Rita. Does Rita want to say something?
I just said, wow. That was awesome. Thank you so much. I have so many notes, and it's just, I don't think I'm going to sleep tonight, Jerry.
That's also part of my plan, is to show you, you know, the sleep spray's good, but you can keep yourself up every night. You know, yeah, that's great. That's part of what it is. When your mind starts getting engaged in this stuff, it's exciting. It's really, see, I don't motivate you, but the information I share motivates you. That's the difference. See, you're already motivated when you come to the call. I don't need to give you a rah-rah session. I need to share some meat with you. The meat is what motivates you to go do things. So I'm glad you said that, Rita. Thank you for that.
I love it. Who else? Who else has a comment for Jerry? Who's on?
That's Christine. Jerry, you are amazing. Thank you for breaking it down in bite-sized pieces, and you just energize me. I am so excited about sharing this with the rest of my team, because really we just got to keep the main thing the main thing. And when you do that and you don't overcomplicate it, it becomes so much better on everybody, because then others can do it too. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Christine. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Love it.
You know, Tammy, we may have to do this again. I don't know.
That'd be great.
I think we Man, I kind of love you guys. We may have to do this again.
Please, please, please.
Well, yes. Oh my goodness. Thank you. This is just amazing. And you do, Jerry, you're real, and you share you're real, and you share your flaws. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
just like all of us need to be. I mean, we are flawed people. Nobody's perfect, and people don't relate to perfect people. People relate to the struggles and to the imperfections, and when we laugh at ourselves. So it's like a relief that we don't have to be perfect. We can rise to the top of this company being exactly who we are. And that's the beauty here. You know, this is a level playing field for all of us, and we each have a beautiful, unique quality and strength to bring to the table. So, thank you, Jerry. Thank you for
my friend.
sharing you and being brave and vulnerable and on purpose with passion, because it gives us permission to do the same.
Absolutely.
You know, we can follow your lead. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, my friend. Love and appreciate you.
Love it. Anyone else? Carrie? Who else has something to say? Corey? I know you're dying to say something.
Tammy, can you hear me?
Yes. Who is this?
Greg.
Oh, hey, Greg.
I'm actually on the road, so I'm hoping this is taped so I can listen.
It
I
is.
came in when we were talking about why and purpose, and I need to listen to that again because I've been struggling with that. So thank you.
Oh, awesome.
You're struggling with your why or your purpose?
Both.
Okay.
I guess you can't figure out the purpose until you know the why.
Yeah.
And, because being single and just taking care of me, I really don't have a why other than, I'm sure there is one. I just haven't defined it to fine-tune the purpose. And that's where I'm struggling right now. So I'll have to listen again and take it all in and go forward.
Well,
So
I love, and I think, honestly, Greg, I think a lot of people can relate to what you're saying. It took me forever to understand what my why was. I was just tripping over it. But I think, like, your purpose is almost bigger, and then your why can funnel down into it. But, I think collectively, all of us, our purpose is to teach people that there's an injustice in this country, that companies are putting harmful ingredients in their products because they value profit over people. So that can be our purpose, our mission first, and then we can, the more we share, the more we grow in this business, we're going to get clearer on our why. And, it's way bigger than we know. It's just we have to kind of dig in to get to it. But don't you agree that just having that collective mission statement, it just clears it really cleared my focus, and it just made me, it made it easier to talk about what we're doing.
Hey, Tammy, You're right. I got to ask you a question. People are posting stuff. How do I see where these comments are?
You go to chat. Do you see chat at the bottom?
Chat.
If you kind of put your arrow at the bottom of the screen.
I'm at the bottom of the screen.
And you kind of just move your arrow around and you'll see chat.
No. Hold on.
You want me to read to you?
Oh,
pull your screen up.
Hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to find it right now. Hold on. Chat. There we go. Is that it? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Here we go.
My son showed me.
Good. Thank you, Josh. So,
You need
from
computer to defend your.
What?
I said if you need to know something with technology, ask a 5-year-old.
For sure.
Absolutely.
So from Corey, she says, Jerry, how do you differentiate this? You say when people join a business, they are joining you. They join you first, then the company second. How does one not take it personally then when someone opts not to join us? Ooh.
That's a good question, because that's really good. That's actually part of the problem that people have, is they take things personally. So here's the thing. People join you, okay? Then they represent the company. the right people join you. That's what you need to understand. The right people will join you. The people that see it, get it, understand it. If somebody doesn't see it, somebody doesn't get it, they don't understand it, that has nothing to do with you. That has to do with the other person on the other end of the table that you're talking to. So I never took it personally when people didn't get it. I didn't start going, well, maybe there's something wrong with me, or maybe I'm not saying anything right. No. People either get it or they don't. They see it or they don't. They feel it or they don't. They want to learn more or they don't. That has nothing to do with you. Your job is to present what you present with as much passion and vision as you can, and the person who sees it will see it, and the ones who don't will not, but that has nothing to do with you. It just has to do with the person sitting across the table. So I never, ever took that personally. I just knew I needed to talk to more people to find the right one. That's how I was able to get through that. So I hope that helps.
Love it.
You're welcome, Corey.
Tammy, I think Debbie had a question or a comment.
Yeah.
Hi, Tam.
Hi.
Jerry, thanks so much for your time tonight.
You're welcome, Deb.
I just wanted to say the one thing that really resonated that I think is a great reminder is your purpose is greater than what you sell. I love that, because we need to remember that it's not about selling, it's about touching lives. And I think if we go out with that mindset, it just makes our job more pleasant, and, you know, our purpose becomes fun. So I really appreciated that reminder. Thank you.
You're welcome, Deb. And you know what, Tammy, I just thought of something that would be fun. And Maxine, I thought about this too. You know, there's probably a lot of people that you wish were on the call that weren't on the call. And seeing we're going to do this again, I just made a decision we're going to do it again. So what I would do is I would ask some of you to post your takeaways, just like that, Deb. Post your takeaways from the call on Facebook. Tag me in those posts. And then everyone will get to see some of the highlights of the call. And they're going to go, man, I should have been on that thing. And then the next time we do it, you'll have more of your team on the call. So just something that always works. I have the VPs do that in my VP coaching groups. And then people go, wow, how'd you learn that? Where'd you learn that? And it helps them get people on their team on the call. So you get on your Facebook page, you just put down what you got from this, tag me in it for those of you that are friends, and then the more we put it up there, people will see it and go, oh man, I can't believe I missed this. Trust me, they won't miss the next one. I promise you that.
I love it. And Jerry, I don't know if you want to just take 2 seconds, because I've been listening to your CDs and they're fantastic. So I don't know if you want to talk about how we can have access to those.
Yes, and Maxine, you asked me a question. Let me get my son, Maxine. How do they become friends with you? I'm not a friendly person. I don't want any more friends. I have enough friends. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, my personal Facebook page is apparently filled with friends, and I have to go through that list. So for now, the best thing to do is to like my business page. Now, people keep liking the wrong pages, okay? This is what you do. In Facebook, in the little tag, you type in coaching, the number 4 champions LLC. That is the only page you need to like. You're going to have coaching groups that will be coming up. You don't need to join a coaching group. You just need to join and like my business page, Coaching for Champions LLC, like that. And you're going to get Friday messages and stuff like that because my personal page is filled. So that's how you can do that. As far as my CDs go, those I don't ever talk about them. I know it's crazy, right? Because I'm not here to sell CDs. I'm here to impact your lives. I would have went through this call and never once said a word about my CDs. And people say, why do you do that? Because my heart is not to be here and be a salesperson. I can't stand people to do that. I'm not that I don't want to be that person. But Tammy asked me, so only because of that, I'll tell you real briefly, okay? Because I do have some great resources. They have gone all over the world, literally. I have people in Australia, in England, listening to these CDs, changing their lives, because what it does is it reinforces the information. If you go to my website, which is coaching4champions.com, you go to the product page and you will see a list of product resources. I have Mastering the Mindset for Success, a 3-CD series recorded live. I have the same thing on a DVD so you can use it to train your teams. And then I have Mastering the Skill Sets for Success, which is a 5-CD set on different skill sets you need to grow your business. So they're all listed there. All the different prices are there. You can order them online, and they will be shipped directly by me to you within 2 business days of the time that I get it. So if you're interested, check out the product page on my website, and all the products are there, and we're developing some new ones that'll hopefully be out before the end of the year. So thanks, Tammy.
Thank you, Jerry. And maybe a great way to close out the call is just to say, why is it? Why did you decide to only coach Arbonne consultants?
Okay, well, I'll make this the short version. First of all, I didn't choose this. It chose me. And it chose me in the name of Executive National Vice President, Dr. Barbara Beatty. And Barbara came to me at church 5 years ago, after I lost my business through a chain of events, and asked me if I ever thought about coaching. And I told her no, and Barbara refused to take no for an answer. She told me, you've got a gift in you and we need it. And she brought me to one of her nation meetings, and God just guided me down the rest of the path. The rest is history. It was not something I chose myself. I will make this point very clear so that everybody knows this and there's no mistake about this. I am not an Arbonne independent consultant. Okay, I do not have a consultant ID. I am not associated with, I am not affiliated with, or endorsed by Arbonne. I have my own company, and it was my own decision to, once I came here, to say I wanted to do something unique that other coaches had never done, that I didn't know who did. And my decision was, I'm just going to stay and coach the people here. I love the products, I loved the culture, and I loved the people. And that's what kept me here. People say, well, why don't you just join Arbonne and build a business? Because I am doing exactly what God has called me to do. I am walking in my purpose. I built a network marketing company. Hear me loud and clear to all you leaders here, and you can tell this to everyone you talk to. I have no desire inside of my spirit to build a network marketing company ever again, period. And you may say, well, never say never. I get it. But this is what I am called to do. This is my purpose. And my purpose in network marketing was to develop who I needed to become, so when God placed this in my lap, I was ready for it. But I have no desire I would rather have, I mean, this is serious. I would rather have all my teeth pulled with no Novocaine than build a network marketing business again, just because it's not what God is calling me to do in my life. My goal, my calling is to teach, to inspire, to encourage, to motivate, and to train. That is what I'm called to do. I'm called to do that in business. I'm called to do that in ministry. And building a network marketing company has no place in God's picture for my life anymore. I did it. I was successful. And that's that.
But Jerry, out of all the companies that you could align yourself with, why Arbonne?
Yep. Like I said, I love the products. You have the best products in the industry. I love the people and the integrity and the love that people share here. And I love the teamwork. There's a lot of network marketing companies that frown upon doing business the way you guys do it. This is a sideline call. There are teams from all over the place that don't get paid on one another. Mm-hmm. In a lot of network marketing companies, that is completely frowned upon. That is a no-no. You don't do that. You don't spend time with people that you don't get paid on. My company was the same way. You don't spend time with people that you don't get paid on. You spend time with people that you get paid on. That environment of just being with and knowing the bigger picture that together each achieves more, that is very unique in this profession. Plus, at the time when I came here 5 years ago, I thought to myself, there's a lot of women in this place. I was single at the time, and I thought, you know what, God, listen, if you're going to put me in a business like this, then I'm going to believe my wife's in here somewhere. And lo and behold, in March of 2013, I was speaking at a meeting for MVP Hillary Corcoran, and so was my future wife. And I heard her, we talked, we connected. We've been together now for almost 4 years. And March 11th of next year, we are getting married. And it's just been an amazing thing that God has done. And I just love your company. I love what you stand for. You have a purpose. You're impacting lives. Health and wellness education is needed more today than almost anything in this world. You guys have the education, you have the tools, and you have the products to make a difference in people's lives. And I'm only going to put my integrity, my training, and all my years of experience with a company that matches who I am in here, and your company just does. So that's the reason why, Tammy.
Woo! Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, we love you. We're so excited and grateful and honored that you spent this time with us. And here we go. In the words of Jerry, we are improving the health and wealth of one person, one family, and one country at a time with our mission in Arbonne. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful week, and just take all of these amazing words of wisdom and implement them, put them to practice. And yeah, keep using your goal card, because I tell you what, who's had some, you know, there's no coincidences, but some, you know, miracles start popping up because of your goal card. Yes, I can, there's someone on this call tonight, actually, because of that goal card, I'm sure. But yeah, thank you again so much, Jerry. This has just been phenomenal, and we just love you. And yes, I'm holding you to it. We're doing this again.
Okay, hey, listen, I said it. It's just a matter of finding the time, but it's a done deal.
All right. Amazing. All right. Well, good night, everyone. Thank you again so much for
Good night, you guys. Love you. See you, Tim.
Thank you, Jerry.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Guys.